So, here's a weird experience I had, and I think I woke somebody up that day, but I had to have my religion, my spiritual beliefs broken down, and my property thrown away for no reason other than somebody's ignorance. So I went into this health food store. It was like an Indian or some one of these kind of funky smelling, incense burning convenience stores. And I was looking for something like, I don't know, to connect me spiritually that wouldn't get me high, nothing to get me high. I mean, this is a common store. This isn't a drugstore. This is a common, you buy food, coconut oil, coconut shavings, maybe, so maybe some foreign room sprays, those religious candles, stuff like that. And I'm looking through all these Mexican religious candles, and they're a little expensive, and I come across this bundle of sage. It's like a grayish bundle. They tie it up with two ropes. There's like string attaching it, and you light one end, and you're supposed to get bad spirits away. And I also did a lot of research with some spiritual people that were from other countries, and they used to burn it in a singing bowl. I actually have a singing bowl, but I'm too scared to ruin it, so I have a separate clay bowl for this. And I mostly do this outside when it's warm. I find a good place outside where there's nobody around, and I just pray outside. Like, I even was able to go out one winter, and I was able, well, many times I was able to go out, not for too long, and this is when I was drinking. I would bring a beer with me. I would bring a beer in my inside pocket. In my other pockets, I would have some, like, incense and some prayer gear, and I would go up on this hunting stand that somebody else used, and I would go, like, Indian style, put this in front of me, burn the incense and just pray for about however it took for me to shake or till the beer wear off, and then I had to get back home. Now that I don't drink anymore and have been drinking for like 4 years, I mean, the last time was during like a cookout. Um, Maybe I had like a coconut drink at a restaurant or something, but I don't think so. I think I opted out for that. But so I can't go for these walks during winter in the woods anymore because I'll get stuck. I have trouble even leaving the house to go for walks to get to work without having a seizure. So the woods would be dangerous without alcohol or serious treatment. So I just don't do those things outside during winter, but I still pray and meditate when I can outside. If I do it inside, I really can't burn much. Maybe an incense if I have a fan or something going. Like the other day, I meditated for quite a while on a Sunday, and I burned just a regular incense, but I had fans going, fresh air coming in, stuff like that. But here's what happened. I was going into a shelter, right? I bought the sage. It was not used yet. The sage was not used. It's tied up. It even has a label on it. It even has a little label that I left on it. It was just said sage. That's it. It was just sage for prayer. And the people at the store were burning it. They told me to burn it in a bowl or walk around the house like incense and go around. What they didn't know is I didn't have a house. I was just planning on praying after I try to look for jobs at the library. I was going to go to this stone at the park where you're allowed to do stuff like this. Like, I've seen other people pray and burn incense on this weird stone where it's kind of, it does seem like a religious stone or something. It's a platform. If you go to Lowell, and you go to this park where they have soccer matches in a pool, at the other end near the bus station, there's this round, only maybe 2 inches off the ground stone that has only one step to get up there. Actually, probably more than 2 inches. We'll say 4 inches because each step is maybe 2 inches. So, and it has a design in there. No writing, no engraving, nothing. And people just use it to pray. I've even seen people do drugs on it. Not sure why people are shooting heroin on it in the wide open, but Massachusetts is getting bad with the opiates, while New Hampshire is getting bad with the meth. Luckily, I have no want to ever do stimulants, so I'll never have to worry about that, and I never have to worry about doing drugs. All I have to worry about now is not having seizures and dying. Um, and I can't treat myself, what's even worse. That makes it worse. But anyway, so back to the story. So I bought the sage. I bought the bundle of sage. I was going into the shelter, and they were searching my stuff. They come across the bundle of sage with the label on it. They come across like this clay cup. I found like this coffee clay cup. It's really small, like teacup, that was really good to go outside with. And it's not been burned yet. It hasn't been used yet, and I have no intention of using it in there. And the guy tells me I can't have this. So I say, well, you can hold it in back of the desk. If you want, you can hold the lighter, the sage, and the bowl. I don't care. I'm not using it here anyways, so why don't you give it to me when I leave, and that way I can do my prayer ceremony. He tells me, well, what religion are you? I told him I'm Roman Catholic, I'm Christian, and I have some Buddhist beliefs, but I am a practicing as well as I belong to many churches in the area for Christianity. I'm no longer Roman Catholic, but I was raised Roman Catholic and I belong to the Christian church. And then he goes to tell me they don't burn incense in the Catholic Church. They don't burn incense or pray in the Christian Church. And he goes on this big rant, throws my stuff away, gives me the lighter back though. He throws away my coffee mug and my incense. And, well, sage. It's a bundle of sage. It's not incense sticks. But they don't, I'm guessing they would have took the incense sticks too. I'm not sure. But it's clearly labeled with a bundle of sage. I even told him where the store was. I'm not trying to bring drugs in. There's plenty of real drugs in there. There's plenty of people who sneak in heroin and glass knives and their drugs and they use it in the bathroom. I mean, I'm not trying to sneak anything in. This is not anything illegal. It has the label. It's very clearly not a drug. He knew what it was. I mean, the people knew what it is. Very common. And he has a phone right there too, so he can look it up just by the label. But no, he wants to belittle somebody else's religious beliefs and throw it away. I told him he could keep it and give it back to me. Why take away my religion? Why take away my prayer? Why? I mean, I can still pray, but I do believe that burning incense brings you to a deeper meditation. It's called aromatherapy. By burning certain plants, it puts out an aroma and you meditate deeper and your prayers are more connected to God. You can spiritually connect yourself to God. You can feel it. You can feel Him. And I've done this several times. You don't need drugs. You can use candles, aromatherapy. You can use noises like singing bowls. You can use a lot of things to reach this deep state. And then you can have full prayers and conversations with the Lord. And you can ask Him to guide you and show you the way. And then you just have to look for the signs and the messages that the good God sends you. Beware of evil, though. Evil is like a roaring lion, waiting for you to have anxiety so it can pounce on you and try to take everything from you. It's similar to like being selfish or greedy or putting up barriers to try to keep your family away because you're afraid you're going to lose something. Those are what they call anxieties. And you got to be aware of those and look out for them. There is evil that exists on this world, and you have to look out for it in yourself and for others. But this person wants to take it, throw it away, get rid of it. And I explained to him that's for a prayer ceremony. Then he talks shit about Christians and Catholics saying, they don't burn incense, they don't burn incense, they don't burn. And remember, I'm not bringing in any K2. I'm not bringing in any spice, that stuff that gets you high. I'm not bringing in any incense sticks. It has a clear label. And this isn't during the spice craze either. This is much after the spice craze was already gone. And those come in bags and they're ground up. They look nothing like this. And these staff have seen what spice and incense look like multiple times. They know what marijuana looks like. So they know that this is clearly, it's a bundle of tied up sage. They know that. It's very clear. It's not confusing. It can't be mistaken. No, he just wanted to be a jerk because I have a religious belief. That's it. He doesn't believe that I'm religious, and he just wants to be a jerk about it. And that's a sin right there. You're destroying somebody else's beliefs because of your beliefs. That's not right. You don't hurt people because of your beliefs. That's wrong. Just because you have a belief system does not mean you can cause damage in other people's lives. In no way. If somebody doesn't want to believe in your religion, if they don't want to believe in good, you can't force that on them. You can show them by example. You can tell them things that you've been through and how you've overcome it. But you can't force anybody by taking their stuff away from them and throwing it away. That's just wrong. There's many things like that you could do wrong. Like God does not make all of us equal. He does not always give us what we can handle. I mean, do you think the Jews God was looking out for them and gave them what they could handle? You think when a 12-year-old has horrible atrocities happen to them and then they find their body and you see it on the news, you think God did that? No, he did not. That's men who did that. That's the evil within men and women. I've seen wicked evil women. I've watched one innocent girl turn evil over time too from the system. Her name was Redhead Gabby. I mean, that she went from being innocent and broken to broken and evil and manipulative. And that happens a lot of time in society. Society breaks people down that are in the system. She grew up an orphan like me through a system, and part of it was her boyfriend who had no concern for anything. But anyways, back to what ended up happening. So I let this happen, and then I just prayed for guidance for that person. I said, Lord, please hear my prayers. I pray that I can help people and do your will, and I hope you can show people the light that you have shown me. And I said that prayer in retrospect for myself and for that person who thought it was okay just to fuck with people. And that wasn't the only time he messed with people either. I'm sure he has a tough job there. I'm sure he doesn't like working there. But he made a choice. And you have to have everybody's best interest at heart. Now, I understand that you might be belittling that, or you might think it's a drug or something like that, but he clearly knew it wasn't. He knew it wasn't a drug. And not only that, people who were sneaking in drugs, he had seen. I've watched this guy years later when I was living outside. He came over and he ended up bringing a lot of people to his house. And I found out he was a pothead as well as an opiate user. He liked to pop pills. So you're a staff member who's getting pills off the homeless. You're getting drugs off the homeless, but then you're throwing away sage that somebody's going to pray with. You could have held it. You could easily hold it against the counter. There's no reason to do that. If it's a drug, yes, then you should be throwing it away, but that clearly wasn't. And I'm not angry about it. I'm sure God still heard my prayers. But you shouldn't be trying to interfere with just innocent religious beliefs. It's okay not to believe in them, but it's another thing to try to manufacture a problem with it. Or what's a better term for that? Sabotage somebody's religion. Like a lot of what was going on with the Jewish people. The Christians weren't really happy with the Jews and that they killed their savior and their savior, and there was a lot of warring going on. That's wrong. You don't kill in God's name. God cries. You never kill in God's name. You don't say God bless America and then America bombs another country. That's wrong. God's not going to bless America if we're hurting people. That's the problem. We need to start hurting one another, especially in the name of religion. No, there's not a single religion out there that says it's okay to kill and harm other people. Not a single religion out there says it's okay to kill and harm people for your own beliefs. Absolutely not. Or even cripple them. Like, what was done to me was wrong. And if they believe it or not, it's true. If you want to believe my life story or not, it is true. And if you want to spend time with me, you can see it yourself. You can see the shakiness. You can see the tears during winter. You might even see the seizures and have to call 911 for an ambulance. The guy that lives with me is on his fifth seizure he's seen. He's seen one in the bedroom where it went very wrong because he's going senile. He's seen one in Lowell that cracked my skull open, and apparently that the people crossing the sidewalk on the other side called for help, I guess. He didn't have a phone on him, and I guess somebody else called. I was unconscious. I just woke up all bloody. And there was no drugs involved with that one either. There was no drugs whatsoever. I was just taking my prescribed medication. That's it. But of course, none of my prescribed medication was for the actual issue. I had gabapentin for anxiety. There really wasn't that much. I tried the Seroquel for sleep again, but I had a lot of side effects. I had to quickly go off of that, so I'm not sure if I was on that or not, because I quickly went off after I started feeling depression and suicidal thoughts again. But they were more mild because that was only one medication. It's more of a sinking, deep down feeling. It's like you're down, depressed, but it's not enough to keep you in bed, but it's enough to make you feel sad and depressed. It is not a good feeling that some of these medications and downers give you. And then they gave that to me for sleep, by the way. That wasn't for any disorder. I asked for something for sleep, and they gave me Seroquel and Trazodone. That was the mix they gave me. And both of those have risks of depression. Anyways, and I reported that, and they go up on the damn things. They go, oh, well, we'll just go up. And these doctors are not trying to treat what I'm telling them. They have some ulterior motive to what they're doing, and I think it has to do, actually, I know it has to do with my mother's reporting. What my mother said about me is what they're trying to treat. They're not trying to treat what I'm talking about. No, they're trying to treat what my mother was talking about, and she's not even here anymore. So there's a bunch of problems with my medical care when I go see a doctor, thanks to my father and mother. And they don't want to do nothing to fix it either. They just want me to find a hole to die in someplace. And that's their choice. If they want to ruin their soul, then they can. And I'm going to continue to try everything I can do to save my life and help others. Just because they want to make my life worse doesn't mean I have to stop helping others or try to stop helping myself. I will suffer greatly. I'll continue suffering greatly. I have to suffer in a little bit. Actually, speaking of all this stuff, so he threw it away and I just prayed. And oh no, not just that, he belittled the cat. He said, no, they don't burn incense. Well, they do, by the way. If you ever go to church in a Christian or Catholic church, they have a big chain with this metal container at the end of the chain that they walk up and down. Sometimes you'll see smoke coming out of it. That's an incense burner. That's why they move it back and forth, is to keep the incense lit. And one of the incense they use in the Christian religion and in the Catholic religion is sage. It's one of the, you got quite a bit of them though. If you read the Bible or you listen to the masses, you'll hear some others. Like there's another one that looks like a waxy substance or a rock that they grind up. It's called, they gave it to at Jesus's birth as well. I can't think of the name, but I used to buy that too. It looks like a yellowy brown waxy rock, or it's hard to describe without the name. But there's a lot of stuff they can grind up and use as incense, and it helps you meditate and be closer to God. That's why they use it in the churches. If you didn't know that, yes, the Christian religion, the Catholic religion, the Buddhists, even the Hindus, they all burn incense and use aromatherapy to get closer to God. So your message is heard. If you ever wondered what that metal chain, that golden chain with a big container with holes in it that they sometimes have on a hook hanging, or they walk around and smoke comes out of it, that's why they do it. Incense and certain plants and herbs, when you smell it, it brings you closer to God. Some people smoke it, but I don't suggest that, because smoking anything is bad for you. I don't care if it's spinach from Popeye's pipe, it's bad for you. The best thing to do is really just let it burn away from you in a fresh environment, and then just pray and meditate. You can even use the singing bowl. You can throw it in there and tap it. I don't suggest that. It makes the singing bowl not as, it kind of doesn't work as well. But keep that in mind. Even the Catholics, the Christians, the Buddhists, the Hindus, even the Muslims, they all believe that burning incense of some type, some natural plant that smells good, will bring you closer to God and help you meditate or pray. And they're right. They're absolutely right. And if you ever want your prayers to be heard, or you want to go into a deeper meditation, try that. Try getting some sage or your favorite incense. Burn it and then meditate or pray. Whatever your religion is, I'm sure a priest can guide you through it. Also, I wanted to mention real quick, actually I'll do that in a different one.